Okay, so once again, welcome to all. Okay, and our purpose, this is the webinar for all, and so everyone is settled down. And am I audible to all?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yes, you are audible.
Yes, you are
Yeah.
audible.
Okay. Okay. So first of all, I'll share our objective. Means what is the objective of Gimmick? Okay. So the objective of Gimmick is provide a right source of technicality, okay, awareness, and to the person by which team will strongly followed with the free webinar for all of us. As you know, nowadays everyone is busy in their life and everyone is busy with their work. So no one can provide a separate time, okay, and you cannot ask. So this is the platform where we can get all the details, all the new updates, and what is the other industries and other the regulatory body wants. Okay, so everything you can get from here, and this is the free webinar to all. Here, lot of experienced person is there. So I'm going to introduce our host and all the person, like our host and addressing note is Mr. Ashish Gupta. Okay, and another host and program deployment and support, Mr. Ajit. Okay, and the third person will be Mr. Panchakshri. He is the host and deployment person, and Hema Madam will be a presenter, as well as Mr. Ravi Shekhar Palia is a presenter. Okay, so I'm going to hand over the call to the Mr. Ashish. Ashish, please continue.
Thank you, Mr. Raghavan. Welcome to all of you. Welcome to all of you in Eugene and Gimmick Group. Eugene and Gimmick Group is a knowledge sharing platform. With work with different segments like to automation, quality management, engineering, and information technology. Eugene and Gimmick is a joint together for all of events of like to webinar section and many more sharing knowledge and adopting the new technology and technologies and sharing the knowledge, right? So we will organize the previous webinar section on 31st January 2021 related to computer system validation approaches. So many more queries related to audience like to FMEA and FMECA. So today organize the webinar session of FME and FMECA. We will discuss about the how to implement in FME, FMEA and FMECA, how to reduce the risks and computer system, as well as many more equipments and many more prospective views. And this is FME. So this is a FME section, invention of the 1943 military engineering. So design the FME section for process risks, designing risks, and many more common accept. So find out a risk assessment analysis, complete risk analysis of different tasks and different segments. So let's continue the mover section. So Mr. Suvendu and Mr. Ajit sir, so please continue the section of FMEA section right now.
Thank you, Mr. Ashish, for that quick deliverables for this today's webinar. So with a quick short time, I just introducing Mr. Ravi, who is very well experienced on this topic. He is already working on this field and always guiding and taking and giving our support, giving to supports also. And so let me introduce Mr. Ravi. Ravi sir, and please continue your topic with risk analysis and FMECA. And all the viewers, all the present persons who is available here, I'm just requesting to all of you that our presenter will try to take you through all the corners of this today's webinar. So kindly uh, proper listen to this webinar because it will really helpful. So let's start. And Ravi sir, it is goes to you. Please start the topic, sir.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, sir. Hi. You are audible.
Hi, sir.
Thank you, Raghav, Ashish, Ajit, and Panjakshi, Suvendu. It's glad to present here in Gimmick Engineering group, and thank you for giving this opportunity. Now we'll go to the topic risk analysis and FMECA. The outline of this webinar is we'll discuss about the risk analysis. If there is a risk, what may happen, that will be going on, and risk charting, risk ranking chart, and steps of risk analysis, and also failure mode effective analysis, why to perform and when to perform this failure mode effective analysis we'll discuss, and the complete cycle of FMEA will be discussing. Last and final, we'll be having a question and answering this one. First of all, before going to the risk analysis, can anyone answer me what is risk? So that we can go with the what is risk analysis and further this.
Anyone who is interested, he can unmute himself and answer the questions. No issue.
So if it will be two-side means it will be more interactive. That's the reason I'm asking what is risk, like kind of questions, rather than going in a single way presentation, one-way presentation. Anyone?
Yeah.
Or can I go?
Yes, Ravi sir. Risk is everywhere when we are performing any task, like in any point of activity. The risk is involved. Either it is minor, either major. For example, if we are driving a bike or car, there is a risk. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So there is a risk of chances of different risk chances. The risk may be different in all sections, but everywhere risk is involved.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think in process also the risk will be involved. The nature of risk will be different.
Yes. Yes, Raghav. We can tell that as risk is a like it is depending on the severity and also occurrence.
Yeah, correct.
It is related to what you said is exactly same, but in a simple way, I'm telling that the number of occurrences and the severity of the risk also is matters. Because of that, we'll be performing the risk analysis, so that we can reduce the risk level to the lower side, and also the severity can be reduced. Right? So the whichever any hazards or harms can be reduced, so that any projects or any activity we are planning to perform, prior to that we can expedite that it may happen, and we can nullify the risk, so that the project or anything activity will be going on a smooth manner without any unintended incidents. So now I will tell you what is risk analysis. Risk analysis is the process of identifying and analyzing the potential issues that could negatively impact the key business initiatives or projects. Here we can see, if you take any of the one project, in that we have to identify what are the activities to be done and what activities will be involved, so that by identifying the activities, each part of segment of the activity we can analyze individually, and we can see what are the controls are there, what risk may happen, and what are the through which controls we can reduce. If it is a major risk we are identified, and what are the mitigation plans we need to plan. For that mitigation plan, then further how can we whether it was reduced, the level of the risk is reduced or not, the severity is reduced or not. In this way, we can analyze the complete project risk analysis, and we can nullify the risk. The process is done in order to help the organizations to avoid or mitigate other risks. Here you can see an important part of risk analysis, identifying the potential harm from events, as well as the likelihood that that they will occur. What is likelihood? What are the
It can be
harms?
happen.
It can be happen. It is not only related to the product quality or any activities. It is also part of the safety of the person also we need to consider. Likelihood also means number of times it may happen, like no, any part, like Raghav said, during the bike driving or something like that, the severity will be, harm will be to which, the harm will be for the person only if anything happens means, right?
Right.
Yes.
So that harm related anything, how can we reduce with the proper slowing of the speed of the vehicle or any wearing of helmets like that, so that we can reduce the incident, the severity can be reduced, like that means the potential harm from the events can be reduced through risk what we identified on. You can see through this image, because of this small minor error or something, this complete factory was burnt out. It may leads to the any business effect, business continuity will not be there, loss of personal, loss of equipments, and all it may occur. It's related to all the costing of the company and also the uh, personal life, like that. Next we'll go on. By doing the risk analysis, we can, as I said prior to this, uh, uh, by risk analysis, we can reduce, means forecasting any unwanted situations, estimating damage potential of such situations, decision making to the control such situation, evaluating the effectiveness of control measures, evaluate whether the potential risk of a project are balanced by its benefits to aid in the decision process when evaluating whether to move forward with the project, increase employee awareness about the security measures and also risks by highlighting best practices during the risk analysis process, and understand the financial impacts of potential security risks. In this, what are the points they have mentioned? Uh, you can see that they're telling that there will be a loss of personnel, unintended stoppages of the activity because of the sudden identification of the risk, and also damage to the potential factories or any product related, means quality, it may impact the quality of the product because of the no decision taken prior to the start of a project. There will be a hold up of the activities, and also to avoid they cannot control the measures. Effectiveness of the implementation will not be done, and also there will be no awareness of the activities to the person who is working in the activity. So by this risk analysis, these all conditions can be avoided and we can go forward. So as a part of risk analysis, there is a 5 steps we can simply expect in 5 steps. First of all, we need to identify a project. In that, among the project, we can identify the risks and assess the risk with the individual segment. What is the potential factor, potential failure mode, and potential effects of failure, and what are the control items are there. Then you can see they identify methods to manage risk. Here we can evaluate the risk and what are the controls are there, and any mitigation plans are required or not, we can identify. We can implement into this, what are the identified methods or controls are there, we can implement here. And post implementation, we have to evaluate whether what are the methods we implemented as part of control measures or mitigation plans, whether it is effectively implemented or no. We should evaluate. If anything else is there, and even though after implementation of the risk, if it is not reduced, again we need to have a control measures with the management team to discuss and how to reduce the risk and all. You have to re-evaluate the risk factor. Once again, I'm telling as part of this, identify risk, identify the existing and possible threats that you may face, look for and identify threats by thoroughly dissecting the activity, consulting with the members of the organization and subject matter experts. Assess risk. What are the identified risks are there? We need to assess, decide which might cause harm and how. Consider everyone involved in the activity. Once you have identified the threats you are facing, you need to work out both the likelihood of these threats being realized and their possible impact. We need to assess the risk and we need to assess the impact on the products what you manufacture or any activity you are performing or any projects you are doing. Identify methods to manage risk, evaluate the risk arising from the threats and decide whether the existing precautions are adequate or if more should be done. If something needs to be done, take steps to eliminate or control the risk. So here we need to identify methods to manage the risk. Which are the risks are identified here. We need to assess and we need to implement the control measures to propose the control measures and mitigation plans. Implement method. Record the findings and how they can be controlled to prevent harm. Most importantly, organization members and advisory must be informed about the outcome of the risk assessment as they will be the ones who will need to take action. Here, why organizational members and advisory boards are informed. Any risk which we identified as a critical or major, and we need to propose a mitigation plans. It should be informed to organization members and advisory board, and we need to take a prior approval by informing that these risks may happen. So these are the mitigation plans we proposed for the implementation. This could may involve in the financial matters, which we require financial approvals for any additional safety precautions, safety equipments, procurement and all. That's the reason. And also it's a part of communication to the organizational members that this is the critical activity we are performing and this may arise a risk. It is also is a prior approval for the any financial approvals to procurement of any additional equipment for the safety point of view, and also it will be a common communication to the personnel of the higher management. Manage and evaluate. Risk evaluation allows you to determine the significance of risk to the event and decide to accept the specific risk or take action to prevent or minimize it. Once we implement and all, we have to evaluate the risk, whether it is reduced or not, or any additional mitigation plans are required or not, we need to see. This is the flow chart I have displayed. It is a part of the ICH-Q9. So simply I will briefly I will explain on this flow chart. Sorry. First, we need to identify the activity where quality risk management process will be happening. A team will be formed who are the subject matter expert and also the personnel involved in the activities for the particular activity. There will be identifying the risk identification. Upon risk identification, risk analysis and risk evaluation will be done. Here the risk control section. Here the risk reduction will be happen with the any control measures what we implement. If it is not acceptable, again it will be going to the risk analysis. Again the re-evaluation will be done. Again till the acceptance of the risk. Once the risk acceptance was done, output and result of quality risk management process and review of events will be happen. All the review, what are the activities, what are the proposed activities are there, whether it is implemented or not. If it is implemented, whether it is implemented in effective manner and all, it will be discussed. This is a complete flow of the quality risk management process. For every risk analysis, there will be three criteria will be considered: severity, occurrence, and detectability. So we have categorized into three high severity of event can be categorized into a high, medium, and low. We can say high means this risk may cause high severity, means the consequences are more, wherein there will be a death of personnel and also major impact of the quality of the product, or it is impacting the data integrity, security, and DXP requirements. Where the medium, where the high severity is a irreversible active action risk, so we need to take an immediate corrective action also. Medium, it is an temporary, it will be having an medium level of effect on the health, means patient may not be going for the left threatening condition. It is indirectly impacting the quality of the product or security and GXP requirements. It can be scheduled with the, which can be processed with the current controls and till the sufficient appropriate mitigation plan. Till the mitigation plan, permanent mitigation plan is proposed, we can go with the current controls as a part of corrective action. Low, there will be no impact on the patient safety, and there is no impact on any of the activities like quality, GX, integrity, and data requirements. And this is a corrective action is optional. If there is any additional control, if you have proposed during the team discussions and all, we can propose as an optional, and because if it is not implemented also, it won't be having any continuously it is happening, it is a recurring. And medium, it is a periodic, sometimes once in a while, like 6 months or 1 year, like that. If it is low, once in a while, we don't know, once in 2 years or once in 3 years it may happen, the probability of occurrence. Once you go for the detectability, high, the detectability is high, it can be easily identified by in a easy ways without any additional requirements and all. Here medium, the risk can be detected through a control measures or some analytical techniques, something like that. Here low is there will be no detection, very less detection. In this, we required a high efficient analytical techniques to detect. It cannot be easily identified or detected. By these three, severity, probability, and detectability, we can calculate the risk priority number. And further, based on the risk priority number, we can categorize the risk as high, critical, major, or minor. Now the risk rank, sorry. Here the risk ranking chart will be explained. Here we have seen that probability was taken in the y-axis and this impact was taken on the x-axis. Here the probability is low. This is the risk exposure. Here the probability is low and the impact is low. So the complete risk is, when it is exposed also, the impact is very low. Like now the medium, the probability is medium and the impact is medium. Here if you see, it's indicating that yellow color means some action to be taken to bring the medium risk into the low category. There will be a medium impact because of this risk. If you go into the high probability of occurrence, and there will be a impact. If it is in low means it is coming into the medium. If it is high impact and high probability of occurrence is very high, it was clearly indicating that it's a red color, it's a danger indication that we need to take an immediate action for to act upon the risk to reduce into the maximum possible minimum level of risk we can reduce with the by evaluating the existing controls and also by implementing the additional controls what we require. Here the probability of the risk is severity and the probability. You can see same as the impact is equivalently we can make it as severity. Impact means high severity related to that. There will be a high probability and a high severity. It is indicating this high risk. By calculating the numbering and all, you can see the severity and probability. 1 into 3 is a high probability is there. It was showing 3. And the medium probability is there and medium severity is there. So 2 into 2, 4. It is coming into the major part. Is the next one is detectability and the risk class, where the risk class we identified here 9, 6, 3. These number will be taken into consider here 1 to 2, 3 to 4 and 6 to 9. And the risk class is correlated with the calculated with the detectability also. This is the detectability row and this is the risk class, where the minor risk will be calculated 1 into 3. It is 3. It is coming into the minor. This is the risk criteria where the minor, major and critical were explained. Risk is acceptable and routine procedure must exist to the address risk 1 to 4. If it is a major, it will be falling under 6 to 8 criteria. This section, there is a detectability is medium and the risk class is major. So 3 into 2, 6, and also you can calculate as, so these 5, 6 to 8, this section will be coming into the major risk. And where the number 6, 9 to 27, if it is more than 9 and equal to 27, it is coming under the critical area. The risk is unacceptable action and must be taken to mitigate. 9 to 7. Based on this risk detectability and this RPN number calculation, we can see how much extensive testing can be done. So here, if you go into this 1 to 4 RPN number, risk priority number, if you go into 1 to 4, it is a minor risk. You can go for a limited test, or also you can no need of taking tests. If you go for the 6 to 8 major risk, normal tests are required. If it is a critical, it is coming under the critical criteria. 9 to 27, the risk which are coming under the 9 to 27, they are under critical risk. We should evaluate intensively and we have to challenge the particular system for the effectiveness and also evaluate periodically also. You required queries regarding this risk assessment? Any queries? So based on that, we'll go on to the
Satish Ali Govind. Satish.
Satish second first sheet हो गया लगता है.
hello.
Yeah, Ravi sir, you could proceed.
Yeah, okay, fine.
I'm having one question
Yeah, tell me.
regarding this. That you can say that there is a normal testing and another is a extensive testing. So what is the difference between normal and extensive testing?
Okay, you are from a pharma background or some other background?
Here I'm from pharma background.
In production or any quality something?
I'm from quality.
Okay. If you found that the minor risk is there, a major a normal test and intensive testing is there. For HU, for example, like no pH analysis and the HPLC, is it different, right? Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yes, you are audible.
Yes, you can. You are audible. You just continue. I'm just listening.
Okay. You can take it as an example from the pH meter and the HPLC. In both of these cases, even the pH analysis, it will be coming under the major part of the product analysis, but it can be easily detectable and easily identifiable. How much is there? Any error it comes also, you can easily identify in that. In that case, we can go for the normal testing. HPLC testing and all, it will be a critical where the actual product means assay related and impurity related analysis will be happening. Even with a minor error, also it triggers to the major impact on the quality of the product. So in this case, while you compare to the pH meter and the HPLC meter, how much extent of testing you will be performing? Can you tell me what extent of testing you will be doing for pH meter and the HPLC? You will be doing for pH meter also, you will be doing as equivalent testing of as HPLC?
Basically, the critical process parameters, which are critical to quality and critical to process, we go for the negative and positive and extensive testing. Other than that, we perform the positive testing.
Yes.
So that's why general and specific testing, I was not there was not the clarity about it. That what does mean as general testing and other testing? That's why I was asking.
Yes, understood. It's for our knowledge purpose and easy understanding purpose. Like a simple terminology was included in the PPT for easy understanding.
So my question is that FMEA is already out of date as per the FDA. It is only for the processes, not for the computerized system. So how we can correlate still with the FMEA for the computerized system?
If you go with the computerized system, the functional risk assessment also you will be doing, right? Hello.
Hello, can I answer that
Yeah.
question?
Yeah, Tim.
The question is that what is the minor or major? You say like in the pharma, like example of HPLC and pH meter you have taken. I have one question to answer that. Is it time or date change is major or minor? Is the major or minor? Hello?
Yeah.
Is it a major thing only?
Major na, then you have to show with your testing like there is logged or not logged, means this is the critical one. So in this case, this is the critical risk, right? In same for the computer system validation, you have to prove like this. Is it time change or date change or not change? You have to do challenge test also for the user. When we are going to change from the user ID, is it change or not change? When from the even admin change or not change? So what you did for that, you synchronize your system with the server, right? So this is a lot of the things. In this case of changing in date or time is the critical risk for your computer system. Is it one example of critical one? Is it clear? Hello?
Hello, Anil.
Hello, I think it's not audible.
No, you are audible.
Yeah. No, sure. I think, is there any question? Otherwise we go.
Yeah, Hemashima, I have a question.
Right. Please ask.
So for severity and probability, you give a number index like, for high 3, medium 2, low, and for detectability, you give a reverse 5. Why it is like that?
Like that means it will depend upon your understanding, right? In case of severity, you see in your in PPT that 1 for what, 1 number is for what, 2 number for what, and 3 number of what. Is this for low, medium, and high, right? In the case of severity and probability, is it clear why it's given high number? Because when we multiply high number with higher number, we got the more number, big number of RPM number. So we can easily see that the RPM number is big. So we have to take the mitigation plan, right? For the two, is it clear? Hello.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Is
Actually,
it
my
right?
voice, that there is a network issue that I was also telling yes, but I think you were not able to listen. I mean,
No issue, no issue. For the first one, that is the severity of event, you understand that 3 for high, 2 for 1, 1 for low, right? Is it clear? Because high means number is big. Number is big, then multiply number of big number we got in RPM number. When we got the RPM number big, we have to take the mitigation plan as per the rule, right? So this is the high in the case of severity, and in the case of probability of estimation means again and again we got the event, again we got the event. So it is the higher occurrence. So in the case of high, we take 3, in the medium we take 2, in the low take 1. So it is clear for severity and probability, right? But in the case of detectability, what we have to see, why we take high in 1. Detectability means whenever you are going to take race your bike, your meter is go to 80, 100, right? Right or not?
Yeah.
Hello, right?
Hello.
You can
Yeah.
see, hello, you can see your speed by your bike meter. Your meter is going to 80 or 100, right? So you can see, okay, oh no, I take more speed, it's high speed, so your detectability is high due to that your meter, right? So we take, because when anything is going to be happen wrong, you can easily see. If you easily see, then you take the precaution, right?
Okay.
When you easily see any mishappening is going to happen, you can easily see, you can easily look. So this detectability is high for you, right? In this, so anything going to be wrong can be saved by your immediate action, right? Anything is going to be wrong can be saved by your action, because you can detect anything going to be happen previously, it's going to be happen, right? So in
Yeah,
this
got.
case, because detectability is high, we take the low number, because already we taken a meter in our bike which can show us our speed, and we can control that speed because we have the control. That's why in case of high detectability, the number will be low. Then number will be low. So in case we when going to be multiply with our severity number and probability number, the RPM number also will be low. So mitigation plan can be reduced. Mitigation plan can be reduced, or in a less efforts we can got our mitigated plan. Is it clear?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we'll go for the failure mode effective analysis. Let us understand this failure mode effective analysis, and steps to develop FMEAs. Finally, we'll summarize the different types of FMEAs. Failure mode effective analysis benefits. It allows us to identify the areas of our process that most impact, help us to identify how our process is most likely to fail, and points to process failures that are most difficult to detect. It assesses the potential failure modes of processes and the probable effect on outcomes, and also other product performance can be detected here. Failure mode effective analysis. This failure mode effective analysis is used mostly in assessing new product introduction, and also wherever the major changes in the existing facility like manufacturing, analytical, or any production areas modification or new equipment introduction. And also if at all any product already or existing products are validated, and if in case any you want to change an excipient member, excipient vendor or API vendor, there will be doing the FMEA analysis. Any introduction of new equipment or system, and also any product recalls, product failures, any product withdrawals, and any stability related issues we can assess through this FMEA mode. Here some examples, like in applications where we use a manager is responsible for moving a manufacturing operation to a new facility. He or she will be to be sure that the move goes as smooth as possible, that there is no surprises. During any facility modification and all, what activities will be done, or any changes, what changes will be doing, any additional activities to be done and all, it will be identified with respect to the process in case of the product development, or any technology product development also they will be evaluating what are the any unforeseen challenges may happen or not during the product development. As a product designing also means product development, any software, any database or upgradation of software you're in the system, or any upgradation of database you're doing, or any replacement of software you're doing, during that time any what kind of issues may arise, and what extent of challenges to be done to verify, and also any mitigation plans are required, and what we will be doing here. In this failure mode effective analysis will be helpful for us. What is a failure mode? The way in which the component, sub-assembly, product, input, or process could fail to perform its intended function. What is intended function? The actual activity what you are proposing, whether it can be performed without any obstructions or any new challenges. Before that, we in every segment of the activity will be verified with respect to any product or any input materials or any process or safety related activities. All will be considered to go forward to perform as intended. This failure mode may be a result of upstream operations or may cause downstream operations to fail. If it is a larger process flow is there, it may happen at the initial stage of the process flow or any end of the process flow, which may obstruct the intended function. From this failure mode effective analysis, we can identify the what could go wrong and all. Why FMEA is used? Methodology that facilitates process improvement, identifies and eliminates the concerns early in the development of a process or design. This you can see that early stages of development of any process or any system, we can identify if any errors or failures may happen or not. We can eliminate, improve internal and external satisfaction. some as A manufacturing company is performing one activity and working for the B example I'm telling, improve internal and external customer satisfaction. For example, first A manufacturing company is working to provide the product to the B manufacturing company, and they are having some concerns related to the some failures what they expected, frequent failures what they are expecting in the product. So they have given a challenge to improvise the process and to identify the risk, anything else may come, and they can reduce the failures. So the internal and external, the A manufacturing company and B manufacturing company as a together, they perform the analysis, failure mode analysis they have performed, and they have reduced the errors, failures, what may happen, and they have included the controls which eliminates the failures. So there will be an satisfaction with respect to the business continuity and all. Focus on prevention. They can identify the failures as early. They can include the preventive controls which prevents the failures. FME may be a customer requirement. Like now I told you in the improvement of the internal and external and any business related activities. FME may be required by any applicable quality management system. Any product failures also you can evaluate any stability related failures or any new introduction of the equipments. That's on the system also, any modification the system also can be evaluated. A structured approach to of FMEA is identify the ways in which a product or process can fail, estimating the risk associated with specific causes, prioritizing the actions that should be taken to reduce the risk, evaluating the design validation plan or current control plan. When to conduct a FMEA? During the process improvement investigations, any new systems, products or process are being designed, when existing designs or process are being changed, when carryover designs are used to new applications. After system, product or process functions are identified, but before specific hardware is selected or released to manufacturing. These are the some of the scenarios where we can conduct the FMEA mode to evaluate the systems, and we can improvise our controls, early detections before implementation. The history of FMEA, it was the first used in 1990s in the aerospace industry during Apollo missions. In 1974, the Navy developed MIL standard 1629 regarding the use of FMEA. In the late 1970s, the automotive industry was driven by liability costs to use FMEA. Now it is more significantly used in the all pharmaceutical industries, not only the mechanical industries also, including the pharma is mostly using this mode of analysis to identify the failures and also mitigate the failures. In the failure mode effective analysis, there is a table. As an example, I'm displaying. Here we need to get the process step. What is the process step and input under investigation? For this particular, we need to identify one segment or any function. For this, what potential failure mode, what may go wrong? And then what failures it impact to go for the potential failure? What is the cause? Potential causes for the failure, and what are the controls are there based on this. You can see identify the failure modes and their effects, identify the cause of failure modes and controls, what are the current controls are there, whether it is sufficient or not, we need to evaluate, and we need to prioritize severity, occurrence and detection. These three will be calculated and the one RPN number will be coming. So based on this RPN number, we need to identify that low risk or minor risk or major risk or critical risk. Based on this, we need to recommend some actions, and the responsibility of the person should be provided for the further evaluation, and who is, and after actions taken, what is the post completion or post implementation of the actions. We need to recalculate the severity, whether it goes wrong, whether severity was reduced or not, and the occurrence might have reduced, so that can be recorded here, and that detect the how much detectability was increased. This can be reported here. Further, we need to calculate the RPN number. Based on this RPN number, if it is critical here, whether it comes to the low or major with the mitigation plans or existing controls, we have to re-evaluate, and we need to consider for the further processing. Types of FMEAs: design, analyze the product design before release of production, analyze the systems and subsystems in the early concept or design stages. Here, if you go into the next is process, to analyze the manufacturing and assembling process after they are implemented. This is the initial stage of evaluation during the developmental stages. Once the process was validated, or next to the process during the continuous and all. During that time, these processes can be applied. Both the process flows are same, but the considering the steps may differ with respect to the design stage and also with respect to the process stage. During performing the FMEA, a team should be performed with respect to the project team and also any quality team, safety team. As a team, team formation should be happen with respect to the all cross-functional teams required for the analysis. From each and every person or subject matter expert, the inputs should be taken, means what are the process function or functions to be identified, what are the process related or any functions which need to be identified, and further we need to go for the activity. The FMEA procedure includes, for each process input, you have to list out the activities. From there, we need to identify what failures may happen, what can go wrong. We need to identify with respect to the each function. After each failure mode, determine effects. We need to identify the severity level of the failure, how much severity based on the impact on the product quality and the safety of the personnel. By considering all this, what are the severity level we need to identify, whether it is high, medium or low. Then for each failure mode, then we have to go for the potential causes of each failure mode, because of which cause it may go to the failure mode. We need to identify the we need to list out the failures causes for the particular failure mode, and also the occurrence level, how much time. Occurrence of likelihood means whether it is frequently occurring or it is periodically occurring, or it is whether the failure may happen once in a while. We need to evaluate during this occurrence level. We identify the potential causes. For this occurrence level calculation, we can refer the prior history of the company. Means if the particular product or anything was manufacturing from past 5 years or 2 years like that, we can pull out the data from the past history, and we can take the data that whether these risk, whether it was happened in the last 5 years, among the available history, how many times it triggered this failure. whether it is 3 among the 5 years or 2 times among the 5 years, or frequently it was occurring in the last 6 months, like that. Based on the data, we can add this occurrence number, probability of occurrence. So this number will be used during the calculation of RPN number, and the risk also we can categorize. Identify the list of controls for each cause. Select a detection level for each cause. The same way, how much detection, how frequent we can, how easily we can detect the risk with the regular process, with the document review or anything like that. If at all any document data is available, all, whether if it can be easily identified through that, or easily, like activity. It is an easily detectable method for any manufacturing. You go to the blend, it cannot be easily identified during the in process, but it can be identified through analysis, analytical techniques like HPLC, GC. With those steps can be identified. Like example, I can tell high detectability means in process activities where the capsules and the tablets are getting manufactured, where we can identify the in process tablet thickness and all. It can be easily identified through if it is going wrong anywhere. It can be easily identified through in process checks where thickness missions, identifying missions and all you can identify. Where in the blend, the amount of active pharmaceutical ingredients is available, how much percentage of API is available or not, we cannot identify with a naked eye. So it requires a high level analytical techniques, like now HPLC, GC. Maybe you can, some techniques will be through with respect to UV also, UV absorbance also, but we require a additional separate analytical techniques through which we can identify the failure. If it is no detectability, the last one is detectability will be very less. Means like now we need to go for a in-depth investigation and additional testing, rigorous means like for evaluating analysis with the different kind of modes, where stratified sampling also it will be helpful in identifying the failures, where frequent testing during an sample withdrawing and analysis. So means number of testings will be required to identify this low detectability required materials. Just it's an example I have taken from the pharmaceutical background. I have given for the severity or any occurrence level, how to identify data, and also how to detect these materials. Based on these three, we can calculate the risk priority number. Based on the risk priority number, we can recommend some additional actions, additional testings, additional challenges. Any negative testings is required in case of the computer system activities. And also the person who is responsible for the implementation of actions. And further, for any high rated severities and all, we need to go for the evaluation for every 6 months for the to see how effectively it was implemented and whether the failure was reduced by implementing these actions and all. You can see as a simple flowchart, you can see what the inputs from the team and all we will be taking, like process map, process history, procedures, knowledge on the process, and also the experience on the activity also will be very supporting for the subject matter experts, will be helpful to include their experience, where it may go wrong and all. The final FMEA will be taken, analysis will be done, and further the outputs will be the list of actions to prevent causes or detect failure or modes. And also a history of actions taken will be listing out for the evaluation purpose. The same thing what I explained here. Once again, the severity means importance of the effect on the requirements and the impact, occurrence frequency with which a given cause occurs, and creates failure modes. As I said, the previous data should be taken to have a document evidence before preparing a assessment on the FMEA. Without any data, we cannot do anything. If it is a new activity like that, for example, for every product, it will be a new product will be coming. In case of new products, we cannot correlate, we will not be having the past data. So products testing correlate with the product is having, so that we can have, based on that we can keep some cases, but mostly maximum try to pull out the data from any majority changes related or equipments related and all. There will be some data related to that, so you can pull out the data and you can identify the occurrences of failures. Detection, the ability of the current control scheme to detect then prevent a given cause may be here. The RPN is the product is severity, occurrence and detection scores. Severity, we can identify the numbering will be given, the likelihood of occurrence and the detection. So by multiplying these three, the risk priority number will be triggering. This will be having a major, minor or critical. As a overflow, you can see detect a failure mode. Then you identify the number, severity, and what is the probability and what is the detectability. Calculate and you implement the actions, current controls, and check for the implementation. And you can next further will be same. If it is the any wrong was happened in the detectability or anything, we have to see, or we have to add an additional mitigation controls to reduce the risk. As a summary, this FMEA identifies the ways in which a product or process can fail, estimates the risk associated with the specific causes, prioritizes the actions that should be taken to the reduce risk. With this FMEA, based on the risk, high risk or any criticality, we can prioritize the implementations of actions where it should be immediately implemented and where it should be implemented as the current implemented little delay by considering the current controls existing. This kind of prioritization can be done. This FFMES can be done for the process and also the design. And there is another mode, failure mode effective critical analysis. The process of this activity is same, but wherein the failure mode effective critical analysis will be going in depth critical in depth of the design of the equipment or design of the process, where extensive evaluation is required with respect to design to identify the any failures may go wrong in the design aspects. This same mode of application will be implemented, but the extensive of evaluation will be more in the critical analysis. Thank you. Thank you all. Any queries?
Thank you, Ravi sir. It was nicely explained and explained by Hema Madam, question and answer, and by you, FMECA, risk analysis, and everything. So, any question and answer now? We can ask whatever the question is there from the participant.
Yeah, I
Okay.
have one question regarding the tools. Okay, can you please just give us a current or a practical example so we can easily understand how to use this risk assessment in during computer system validation? Whatever you have handled or whatever you can, so we can get a exact idea that how we can. It's documented. We can get the idea, but we want to know how we can apply to the system when we are performing the computer system validation activity.
Yes. If you see as a part of this, any SAP related, for example, in the PM, any preventive modules implementation like that in a SAP system. Okay. Whether the you can take into the sections like first one is integration with the existing system, or whether it is a new system to the organization.
Okay.
First, we are taking into segments like first one is integration to the already existing system, or it's a new.
Okay.
One more thing is related to the data storage, like now data security.
Okay.
And like these two examples part will going on. What are the potential failure mode? If there is no proper integration may not be happening. We are what may go wrong. I'm explaining it. The functionality of the system may impact.
Yes.
And what are the data what you entered? It may not store properly as per our requirement. There may be a data breach may happen.
Okay.
And loss of data.
Yeah, potential cause means.
So what will be the potential causes for the functionality?
Okay.
Due to just like an overview I'm telling. The improper integration is an improper installation of the software into the existing server or something like that.
Okay.
And also there will be logics. Server is not accepting the system to function as intended.
Okay.
And also data breach, whether the system, the second one is the data storage related. What are the data we entered? The data breaching may happen, which links to data integrity issues. So any person can handle, any person can access, and there is no restriction to the particular unauthorized access, and changes can done to the prior to the data. And loss of data because of this. What the server is happening, there is no appropriate controls to the server. There any person can authorize and they can delete something like that.
Yes.
So for the functionality related and all, we can, as a part of current controls, you will be having some procedural controls, right? For the validation of the computer system or any software, if it is coming into our system, there will be some procedures. So it will be a one current control where you can explain that the complete system will be validated as per our SOP, which includes the installation installation part and any way as per the URS requirements and all, it will be challenged for the negative also the functions as we given as per the requirement URS.
Okay.
So even though we are having current controls, the severity will be reduced, but the detect will be also easier. That as during the validation, we can identify whether these systems can be, whether the particular function is we are challenging and we are keeping a document evidence and all.
Okay.
And data breaching. For every system, there will be a user privileges will be there.
Yes,
And
of course.
grouping of systems will be there. So wherein the privileges, individual privileges will not be having all the individual group or individual person will not be having all the privileges, right?
Yes, yes.
On the responsibility of the person, the privileges will be assigned to work on the function. So
Okay.
there is some detection, there will be some control will be challenging the privileges with respect to the system. Means
Yes.
personal group. Every privilege given to the particular group will be challenged. Not only for the privileges given, which are not given also. It's like
Okay.
negative challenging.
Negative challenges. Okay.
The negative challenge shall be given. For example, you have given a privilege to authorize the audit trail.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And second person is having a audit trail for view.
Mm-hmm.
So the first person will be challenged further whether he can view or not.
Okay.
And also he will be challenged further whether he can take a printout of the audit trail or not. It automatically it should trigger a pop-up message that you are not authorized to access the system. This
Yeah.
privilege. So it's a
Yes.
negative challenge. You are giving a evidence that my system is working as per the privileges given to the group privileges what we are given. The second person as you will be doing, and every person also will be given a privilege that audit trial deletion or any modification.
Okay.
And it will be a cross mark because audit trial should not be breached. Means event log or what are the data it is stored into the system should not be altered. So we cannot tell the audit trial is unable to alter like that. But with the evidence of challenging, negative challenging, we can give you evidence that we have challenged our privileges with modification or any alteration of the audit trial, but it is not possible.
Yes.
You are creating a evidence and you are keeping. So the that system is having a back. So if the server having internet server with that total backup, so that what are the data getting. So we will be giving a procedural references where you are following the where you are taking the data and recording who has done like that. These are all will be a supporting so that the risk level of the activity can be the failure can be reduced and proposed. Means may go wrong, but those activities can be we are keeping here. By keeping this, by discussing with the teams and all, we will be knowing. Uh, I will be knowing 20% of the activities, and you will be knowing another 20%. So all together we can club and we can put in FMEA mode form so that all the events can be recorded, all the failures can be reported. So with respect to the failures, we can identify the actions to be implemented if it is coming to the risk critical or anything.
Okay.
some immediate actions to be taken. So there will be some financial requirements. All activities, all risks cannot be mitigated by our plant level person, right? Any day, some decisions can be taken at plant level. Some decisions for implementing should be concerned with the management.
Yes, yes.
And we have to communicate this risk to all the management persons, critical risk. So they will be during any MRMC and all, they can also discuss how any failures, what anything may happened or not. It can be come up with the discussions or anything like that.
Yes, yes.
Hope you understand. If
Yes,
not, I
yes,
can
yes.
extend.
Yes. Yes, yes. Thank you very much, actually.
Yeah.
I have one more question regarding overall CSV activity.
Yeah. Tell me.
Whatever computer system validation we are performing, we
Mhm.
will just performing against the URS, whatever requirement is
Yes.
specified in URS. So only against that we are performing the CSV,
Yes.
or we will go out of the box when like negative challenge testing like that.
See, your good name?
Sabur Sheikh, yeah.
Shidi. You can go out of box also. URS will be given based on the organizations. The URS will be also drafted.
Okay.
Some will be given in a detailed manner with respect to, means you will be giving the audit trail cannot be breached. Means why I am telling that example, we have already discussed.
Yes, yes, of course.
Some persons will be given audit trail should not be authorized, like that will be given.
Okay.
Some will be in, it will be in a elaborative, like user privileges. Some will be giving user privileges should be given as per the company's organizational policy, like that they will be giving as a simple. Generically, they will be giving. Some organizations will give the like password policies. It should be this many alphanumerical should be taken, and all. So some URS will not be elaborated. Password expiry should be there. First login password change should be given, and all. It won't be described. But we can, as a additional test, we can challenge. No, there is no restriction. No guidance says that we should, as per the URS, we have to. It should be limited to the URS only.
Okay.
What are the extensive tests you will be doing? It is an benefit to the organization only.
Okay.
In case, means nowadays there is an guidance revisions are happening. They're including some other new topics they are including, and now they are expecting that to be done now.
Okay.
With this extension testing and negative testing, you can show them any regulatory guidance, regulators and all. You can show them we have done already. We have challenged. So it will be the workload on you, or the again activity and all, means providing the complaints and all. We can reduce by showing this. I feel it will be good. If you do additional, no impact is there.
Hope all the answers has been addressed. So any other question and answer question? See, the topic is huge, like FMEA and FMECA, risk analysis.
Hello. My question. Nitin. Actually, to go for the any risk, first of should know what is the requirement, right? So what is the requirement? See all the regulatory guidelines. EU market as per requirement for European countries, right? In this case, what is the guidance given by the European like Annex 11? So I have to see what is the minimum requirement is given there. Then there is given your computerized system should be integrate, password should be there, should be time and date log, should be disaster recovery, should be backup policy, archival procedure, etc., are given there. So these all the things come in my mind. Or for any risk analysis or the risk assessment, only not knowing the regulatory requirement person required, there should be the team who can see the what should be wrong in the team. All the SMEs not required be 20 years experience or like this, minimum 5 to 6 years experience person who know, who can check what is the written in regulation and what is the practical approach should be, and what should be the requirement, and what may be the wrong when we are going to do like this, all the things. The person comes sit together, and their knowledge and their regulatory, so for example, we have taken the European guidelines. We take the examples of all the things. We write down in our FMEA format. So for example, if they say password should be there. So what type of the password should be there? It should be the e-signature or it should be the biometric. So I have decided it should be the e-signature. So what is the next? If I am going to the e-signature, so when I'm going, Hema Sharma is going to be login. So anyone, Ravi sir is going to be login. It's the same type of the window come or not come. So this is the only requirement for this is required. This is required, but there is no written like this. This should be not required for anyone. For example, in the case of any RMG, for example, RMG, if in pharma, there is manufacturer decided that the recipe of preparation of lubricated blend should be under the supervisor control, and the run of that recipe should be under the user control. So I have to show in our CSV, in our FMEA also, that there should be the supervisor can prepare the recipe of the manufacturing of the blend only. So what should be the wrong? Here is what is the wrong. The user is going to come in recipe and want to be changed as per his requirement, or any changes. This is will be wrong. So we have to show in our CSV, our risk assessment, that the user cannot be do. So negative testing should be there to show that the user cannot be do that. And for the supervisor can do that. And for the run system, supervisor cannot do the run and user can run. So this type of the requirement is necessary to prove that we have given this test only, this rights to the supervisor only, not to the user. We have given this type of the rights to user only, not supervisor. So on the basis of this, all the criteria or all the concept of what going to be wrong in my computer system validation, I have to prepare my risk assessment. I have to prepare by the any tool, like we study FMEA. So we have to think. Is it understand?
And I'm going to add one more point. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, you're audible.
If any changes, upgradation of the regulatory guidance or happen, we can perform a gap assessment with respect to the additional requirement versus our current systems, so that if at all any gaps are identified with respect to requirement of the guidance, we can assess and we can implement also any control. If there are any current controls are there, we can have a provide that same for the same. We can provide for the same.
Right.
So Mike, I make one question or one doubt.
that we are having a configuration specification document, entire team identified and provide, and we can say that the following rights to be given to the supervisor, to the manager, or to the operator. Everything is there in configuration document, and vendor has already qualified this system. And I can only I can do only unscripted testing. I can just assure the things, and if any auditor comes, then I can show that you can see whatever in my configuration document and whatever my system. Then do can we do this thing with instead of doing a testing, because vendor has already tested the things and provided system.
No, 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 no. What happened in our basic CSV, we have already seen that in the case of CSV, first of all, you have to do your design, and first of all, your URS, then design, and these all things, then your OQ, and then IQ. In the case of vendor, when, for example, I am a vendor of a software, and I said that in my document and my software, these type of the rights should be for supervisor, and these type of the rights for the user, right? But in your URS, you say like, okay, this type of the right should be for user only. But in the case of IQ, OQ, vendor did as per his document, as per your URS. But you, when it's come in production environment, means when you are going to operate your RMG with the any dummy, for example, dummy type of the recipe, to proof it, you have to do in your PQ. So don't ignore this PQ, because at the time of any regulatory audits, auditors ask you, vendor give this, right? Exactly. This all the things as per the regulatory requirement. But is it actually work in your environment or not? This is the question. So you have to show, you have to prove by your PQ, and even after your post risk assessment also. In this case, you can see in FMEA chart that there is the post RPO number calculation procedure also after implementation of the CSV. After implementation, all the validation, you have to show all things are mitigated or not mitigated, nor in the document of the vendor, in your production environment, in your actual environment where you are going to be work. So you have to prove that your environment is.
You are knowing that requirement traceability matrix, right? So from the URS,
right, Bill, exactly.
Requirement traceability matrix with from URS to PQ, where and all the your tests were performed with respect to the URS requirement. Each and every point there will be URS ID. So with respect
means
to the
even
URS ID,
even after
with URS ID, you can trace where the tests are performed, when it was performed, whether in IQ or OQ and PQ, or in the production environment. All the required test numbers can be referred there. As a cumulative, you can give it, we can track it.
Means at the first day, what you think, what you decided in URS, at the last day after PQ, what we got. And from which document you have to write down on left side and then right side what we got, and which document we have to see for our requirement satisfaction. So all the things are linked together. So from the first to last date, whatever you did, whatever you validate should be in your matrix, traceability matrix. Hello.
Yes. Okay. Got it.
Okay.
Is there any questions?
Okay, Ravi sir, one question we are having in chat box, difference between incremental backup and total backup, and if any disaster happen, how this backup will serve purpose?
And we have to archive by using external. Yes, if you go as per the UNX 11, it was clearly stating that what are the incremental backup you're taking daily or monthly. One tape should be in the primary location. And hello.
Yes.
And the secondary tape should be on the tape should be placed in the secondary location away from the primary location. In case of any, in case of any disaster was happened.
Sir, actually, sir, I interrupt you.
Yeah.
Incremental backup is a part of backup. It is a full
Yes.
first time is a full backup. Then second time backup is a new generated file. It backup to other device. Means a one time full backup लेंगे, second time में जो new file generate होगा उसको बस backup के साथ लेंगे. It is incremental backup. Total backup is a full backup of the computerized system. Is it full backup? Not. Yes. Then continue, sir. Sir, continue. Hello, Ravi sir, continue.
Yeah. So what
Okay,
are the
one more question in chat box, like backup is happening in server on daily, weekly and monthly basis. So when we have to archive by using external device and frequency, offsite and onsite?
As per the SOP, will be define the frequency, and as per the criticality, define the backup frequency. Hello.
Yeah. Depending on the storage capacity, means the external backup means it's kind of a tape backups, right? So it depends upon the how much TB it was there, and also so it will be taken once the tape is filled up or about to fill, it will be completely, it will be removed and a new tape will be placed, and that will be backed up secondary also. Sorry, I'm having a little doubt on that. Hema madam, if you can answer this question, you can.
Next question is, for every work or action we need to do FMECA. It is necessary.
Means every work means what kind of work?
This is a chat box question is.
Yeah, for if you are doing a change, if you are proceeding for any action, means we are raising the change control or etc. or performing any type of work.
Means there will be a change action, maybe a procedural changes.
Yes.
Depending on that, if it is a facility change or any software upgradation changes or any changes which related to the implementation of the system, like now the computer systems and new softwares implementation, obviously we need to go for the FMECA process. If it is related to the documents like BMR revision, like BPR revision, spec and STP revisions, it won't be necessary to do FMECA.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, I have one question regarding CSV. This is like personal. What do you suggest to choose career as a CSV? Because it is new trend in pharmaceutical industry, so people are not aware about CSV. And if I am going to start my career in CSV, because I am from pharmaceutical background, so what do you suggest? How it will work and all?
Yeah, it is very good opportunity to moving in career in CSV.
Okay.
Because if you are seeing the salary package, it is very much higher than the normal working in other department.
Yes.
So in CSV, you can work in pharmaceutical company, even you can work in the software company. You can work in the testing environment. So you can, if you become an expert in the CSV, you will be having very good career.
Okay, but challenging, or get farmer people can.
It will be quite challenging only. Why? Because currently nowadays
it is very simple. Where it is very simple. If you are getting good package, it will be challenging. Okay. So there is a wherever you are getting good and decently paid, so surely it will be a challenging task.
Okay.
Right.
Okay,
Not only
yeah.
in CSB, wherever you are getting any decent package, so that position will become a challenging only.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct. I
Yes,
agree with you,
of
sir.
course.
Definitely, it is a correct, and depend upon our choice, our work dedication. It will be easy if we are giving a time, if we are giving a, if we are dedicated regarding the work. Okay.
Okay.
So it is our choice also.
Yes, of
You
course.
can also the move and Cognizant and TCS Wipro. There's a broad scope in
Okay.
CSV, and new approach is implemented in CSA, Computer System Assurance. And
Okay.
assurance is a new approach, having a more pharmaceutical company, Cognizant and Wipro and CSA. So you can move in other side, pharma to about.
Okay.
It is very big
Okay.
scope in CSV and CSA. Right.
Yes, of course.
Mostly pharmaceutical company using a category 4 system, but you have a control for category 5 system. You can move on Cognizant, TCS, Wipro, and many more IT companies involved in CSV. So very big scope.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Any
Okay. I think so. A lot of questions has been answered. If any question is there, then we'll continue. Otherwise, we'll sum up. Yeah, I think no question is there right now. Okay, thank you so much to all of you, all participants, and special thanks to Mr. Ravi sir, Ms. Hema ma'am, and Rohit Gupta sir, everyone, and also a special thanks to the Vendu, Ajit, and Panchakshari to introduce ourselves and everyone in a common platform. So we will definitely come back with the new session and new learning and in future, and we'll inform you with our schedule, with our new topic, and definitely we'll learn new things. Okay, so right now, thanks to everyone, and we'll sum up with this.
Thank you, Raghav.
I just want to thank you all for conducting such a wonderful and informative session.
Sure.
And we will looking forward in future that you should conduct, and we will attend the session. Yeah, a big thanks to you, all of you.
So
yes, if you any concern related to CSV and CSA approach, directly contact my WhatsApp number.
Okay, then no problem.
No, any question related to CSV and related to IT, directly contact to by WhatsApp number. Any question related to automation sites,
okay.
Raghavan and me also is automation engineer, and also Rohit Gupta. So any queries related to automation, directly contact to 3% right now. Okay.
Yes, sure. Definitely, I will contact.
Yes. Thank you.
We'll be happy to answer you. Thank you so much to all of you.
Thank you, Raghu, Ashish.
Yeah, Ashish, can you write your number?
Yes. Chat box number, right? Chat box.
Write your chat number in chat box.
Raghav also. Any other query related to SOPs and protocol generation, any educational part of so directly contact Rohit Gupta and me.
Yes, sure. Definitely, we will contact.
Yes, okay.
Yeah. Thank you very much, then, team. Nice to meet you. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, team.
Thank you.
Also, you can post your Gimmick group link if somebody wanted to join.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ashish, Raghu, Suvendu, Hema madam. Thank you all.
Thank you.
It's glad to me in presenting in this webinar. Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, Ravi sir, and it was my first time, I think, the interaction with Hema ma'am and everyone in this group as a co-host. So we'll happy in future to participate with you, and we'll happy to question and answer. I'll try to give my best to answer all those things, and definitely we'll.
And
Uh,
sorry if any errors are there, minor errors. Sorry, this was the first time I'm
uh,
giving, so little bit confused. Like
no, it was a healthy discussion between all. So
yeah,
everyone can give his thoughts, and everyone can give opinion and all those things. Okay,
yeah,
so it was nice session, and in future we'll try to means,
yeah.
conduct more
Sure, sure.
sessions with more uh, learning. Okay, so right
Yes.
now, thanks very. Okay,
Okay, Raghu.
okay.
Ms. Raghav,
Thank you.
you also mentioned the contact number in chat box. If any query related to queries, you can directly contact to the person.
Yeah, I mentioned. Okay,
Yes, Raghav.
okay. We'll close now. Okay,
Okay, bye.
bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.